Me to be the person I want to be.
A simple thank you leads to a big surprise.
I'm that one weird person who still does everything the old-fashioned way.
Well, it all started with a note from a local teen who happens to be an aspiring astronaut.
And as our Sandra Ali explains, what happened next was kind of an out-of-this-world experience.
It all started when 16-year-old Jessica Middleton heard a presentation at the Detroit Science Center given by NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy. And that's where this story begins.
Dear Captain Christopher Cassidy, you probably don't remember, but a few years ago you gave a lecture at the Detroit Science Center.
Jessica Middleton was so inspired, the 16-year-old sent Chris Cassidy this heartfelt note, a letter she mailed to the Johnson Space Center in Houston as a way to thank him.
Looking back, that was the night I became inspired to never give up on my dreams. It's been a little over 3 years, and I've never forgotten that feeling. Thank you.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Chris's brother runs a nonprofit called Spread Positivity. The Cassidy brothers got to work coming up with a way to show Jessica how much her note truly meant. So they reached out to Jessica's family.
I know it just means so much to her. She's such a good kid. She always does the right thing. She gets good grades.
Welcome.
With the help of Jessica's parents, school administrators at Walled Lake Central, along with Jessica's teacher, they coordinated a call from Chris into the classroom and managed to keep it all a secret.
Sorry to interrupt your class, but Jessica, we're here for you. We love to hear good stories about people doing kind and thoughtful things. We saw an amazing thank you note that you wrote not too long ago. So that person wanted to say hello.
I'm astronaut Chris Cassidy. How are you guys doing there?
Chris wanted to tell Jessica how much her thank you note meant to him.
I appreciated you very much taking your time to write that note.
And surprise her with a trip to Houston and a personal tour of the Johnson Space Center.
You're flying to Houston, Texas, where I'll give you a personal tour of the Johnson Space Center tomorrow morning.
The trip all paid for by an anonymous donor.
I'm so shell-shocked. It's absolutely incredible. I'm so excited to meet him again and tour the facility and just have this opportunity. It's absolutely incredible.
Jessica's mom had already packed their bags. They left school Wednesday and headed for the airport that same afternoon.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
So nice to meet you.
Thursday morning, Chris met Jessica.
Those are actually real spacesuits.
First, he took her to the Neutral Buoyancy Lab, a 6 million gallon pool with a submerged space station model used for training.
It's amazing how close this replicates a real spacewalk.
Next, they were off to fly with the help of a robot that simulates reduced gravity.
Here's a hard hat for you. Let's go ahead and toggle to velocity control.
Just put that on there like that, and then connect the electricals. So here you go, it's all yours. We're at the front of the space station.
Then she went to check out a model of the International Space Station where astronauts train.
These are the sleeping quarters.
And finally, they capped it all off with a look at NASA's mission control for the International Space Station. A perfect ending for this aspiring astronaut.
Are you in space?
I'm in space.
There you go, you got it.
Wow.
This is awesome. And I feel like that's important, and today with how crazy the world's going, just take time and let someone know that they matter, no matter how big or small it could be.
I like to do things that are meaningful to me, and this was something that I was really touched by. I wanted to give back to her as well as saying thank you, but also a way to let people know, hey, this is important. It's important in life to be nice to others, to treat people fairly, to treat people like you want to be treated.
Chris said if you're going to fly in space, you really need to be a good person. So Jessica has all the makings, he said, to become an awesome astronaut.
I'm sure that's going to make a huge impact on her life.
What a cool experience.
So cool. We're going to hear from that young lady again.
I think so too. Yeah, exactly.